is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion, we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting higher, wonder when it does now come Rex. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. To get champion.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
The scale of dealing with anti-corruption issues. So there is a learning curve that we are going through. What is important is that the government supports the development of the institution so it can accelerate very quickly on that learning curve and provide the resources so that they can move very quickly on the learning curve, and that the government does not intervene or interfere. And that message goes to the opposition as well. Leave the anti-corruption and policing agencies to do their jobs. I know why you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right start that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Hello, welcome. Happy Tuesday to everyone. Happy Tuesday to those in television land. Happy Tuesday to our silent supporters. Happy Tuesday to everyone in the chat. Hope everyone has had a wonderful and productive start to the week. Remember, guys, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can. And if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated. Tonight's topic is stolen drugs with your host, Mystic Sensations, Baron and Anne-Marie. We have Melting Pot and Mr. Ratigan or you on this Tuesday night as usual. I am just going to give an umbrella welcome to everyone in the chat because it's already gone far away, and also gonna give a special shout out to all our channel members and to all of our moderators. Bless upon yourself. Thank you so much. Really appreciate each and every one. We know you could have been doing something else and you choose to be with us, and we do not take that for granted. So thank you so much for your continued support. And without any delay, I am going to hand over to Baron so I can.
All right. Thank you for that, honey. Usual wonderful precursor there. Right. And thank you also to manage the parliamentary session quite well. I mean, we have seen some situations in Parliament, and it ended on partially a good note as it relates to Christopher, right? Dr. Dawes, right, had replaced Damian Crawford in the PAC committee, right? To me, right, as it relates to my subjective opinion, it is a more stronger force, not taking away anything from Damian Crawford, but having a Dr. Dawes there, I am somewhat, I would say, quite comfortable. I'm quite comfortable, not comparing Christopher Dawes and Damian Crawford, but we are very much comfortable that a very solid soldier right, had exited, right, as it relates to the Public Accounts Committee. And also we have someone who has gone there now, right, who is equally, right, effective and going to be very, very effective. So, right, kudos to Dr. Dawes. Having said that, let me just tell all my listeners and my subscribers tonight is a night that really and truly, right, you need to have your coffee beside you, right, have your little crackers beside you, because tonight is going to be riveting, right? But before we get into that, let me just, as usual, our articulate panel, right? Let us just bring Melting Pot to meet and greet his people. Melting Pot.
Yes, sir, Lord Byron. Greetings and blessings as usual to everyone, Yeah. Especially to my people them down the ground zero as usual. I have to give special mention to those people who have continued to, you know, ride the fire. You understand? Yes. I want to say big up to panel tonight, Sir Lord Byron as usual, the host, Lady and Marie, technical director, and as usual, we have the Ratigan at the house, Man, know the score. All right. Big up to my people, I'm in a 2 mile as usual. Blood and fire come red, hold tight. Yeah. And all of Kingston 13 and 11 same way. Hold tight, set speed. But without any further ado, I go hand back the floor to the host.
All right. Thank you for that, Melting Pot. You know that I forgot my discipline of not acknowledging all my peeps in the chat. So all of the peeps in the chat, right? Bless up my lieutenants. I really appreciate you. Let me say, all right, Brother Ratty, please
Yes, sir.
and greet.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. If it's Tuesday night, it's Mystic time. Big up Lady Anne Marie, Lord Byron, Melting Pot, all of you wonderful people out there in social media land that are tuned into us. And let me just say a special acknowledgement to all of the Kingston 11, Kingston 13, Money and Santa Cruz people. I don't know me. Now I know boy. So.
All right, Brother Ratty. All right, let me say before we begin. Jamaica, we see the legislators in Parliament, right, doing their thing, and it appears to be nice and dandy and business as usual. But Jamaica, we are going to reveal some shocking things tonight, and it is not business as usual, right? For the last couple of weeks, right, we had made mention, right, of a deportation order that is on the DPP's desk, right, and we know that 100% positive. We had also made mention, right, of the dismantling of C-TOC. Right now, you have seen it now comes to fruition, right? So since we have that, right, simply means that where we are getting our intel from, our intel is 100% solid, right? Because we are getting our intel from inside source. And let me say, Jamaica, in terms of what we are going to reveal tonight, right? It is going to be shocking. Shocking. And as I said, that everything seems to be nice and dandy, but it is just not so, right? Now, I want to begin with one of, our iconic leader in the Caribbean, right, in terms of her endorsement for the People's National Party. It was a breath of fresh air, to hear Mayor Motley, right, endorsement of the People's National Party. And, you know, we're really happy for that. For most of the islands in the Caribbean, of course, they are on the principle of democratic socialism. And we are saying, you know, our kudos goes to Mayor Motley in terms of her endorsement. So without any delay, let me just play that video for you to hear that, and then we proceed, right, in the beginning of our show, right? Let us put Mayor Motley in terms of what she communicated.
That is what you have. And I ask you, when Wednesday comes, do not tell me that we're going to win already, because no ballot box opens with a single vote. Do not tell me that you don't believe that we need any more help, because we do. We live in a world now where Donald Trump and others are imposing tariffs and sanctions on people. And the one thing that a leader of a country must have is backative from their population. And if you can't show that backative, if you can't show that in the ballot box, then people will doubt. You have a leader. They say I travel too much, but when I travel, I only travel to bring back benefits for this country, including hundreds of millions of dollars in grant money. I ain't even talking about loans yet. But I know what it is to go in Golden Square and outline my vision for Barbados to Bajans in Barbados. I do not go on Trinidad and Tobago television and outline the vision for Barbados to Trinidadians living in Caroni and San Fernando and Laventille and Port of Spain. None of them can vote for him. So ask yourself why he would go up there first before even his election broadcast to you in this country. I feel that it has to do with campaign finance. But that is a story for another day. And last night I told Richard Seeley, cut it out when you're talking about us and the Jamaica Labour Party. We don't have any relationship at a political level. I get on with Prime Minister Holness and his cabinet. But our sister party is the People's National Party. That is why their leader addressed our conference in 2018 at Lodge School, Peter Phillips. Got the same name as Peter Phillips in St. Lucie. That is why, as opposition leader, I addressed their conference in Jamaica, in Kingston.
Yes.
And I
Take
want
that away.
Richard Seeley to know those.
Take that away. I am happy to play this, right? To show my Jamaican people as it relates to the power of democratic socialism and the blessing of which democratic socialism bring forward. And so then, of course, Mayor Motley, right, is endorsing that. And Mayor Motley is not in the PR business, right? Speaking of what she's going to do, Mayor Motley had done it, right, in terms of full representation politics, right? And as what she said, that she can stand up. So just listen, people. She can stand up and she can speak the atrocities of Donald Trump. Tell Andrew Holness to do that. That's a different kettle of fish. Because Mayor Motley is free of corruption. Mayor Motley is not a political spawn and will not be used conveniently to drive a political motive and will not become a part of United States interests. but she will independently defend the rights, the fundamental rights of his people, and speak out against the cruelty, right, being imposed by countries who believe that they are big, mighty, and powerful. And here we have a Mia Motley, a lady, right, with balls more than men, can speak freely because no one, right, has nothing in terms of corruption on her. And this is the difference between an Andrew Holness and Mia Motley. Andrew Holness who being a puppet on the string, and right now as we speak, we don't know as it relates to our sovereignty, the solidness of our sovereignty, right? Because Andrew Holness fully compromised as high as it relates to his high level of criminality. And in terms of what we are going to discuss tonight, people, you are going to, trust me, shock. Now, the level of criminality had now passed the pinnacle. Yes. And so then we have to speak and highlight, right, the issues that surround the corruption. There is no country, let me say this, Jamaica, and I want you to listen keenly. There is no country, no matter how rich in resources that country is, cannot survive if corruption is rampant. The primary problem that we have in Jamaica is corruption. Tonight, we have done our deep dive and we are going to reveal to you, right, as it relates to Andrew Holness' administration. But who we want to hear from to lead us out in terms of so-called solid performance coming from the Jamaica Labour Party. And the person who is going to lead us out in terms of saying to the public that the Jamaica Labour Party had a solid performance. Well, this is the person, of course, who definitely marked by WikiLeaks as a corrupter. This is the person who is selling the narrative that, of course, Andrew Holness' administration, right, had done well and all of that. I'm going to let you hear him. But he's the very same person that WikiLeaks is saying, we are looking on you as it relates to drugs, transshipment, and guns. This is the person who is the Deputy Prime Minister of Jamaica. It is that shameful. But let us hear our strong endorsement of the performance of Andrew Holness and the performance of the gentleman of the year, the Commissioner of Police. Then we are going to speak after. Without any delay, honey, let us play that clip so that the people can hear Horace Strong applauding his administration. Let us take it away for the people.
In the ministry, but I will be on the road until the beginning of March 1st.
Catch it back.
I am officially back in the ministry, but I will be on the road until the beginning of March, 1st of March. My rehabilitation completes the 27th of February. But I am on the road officially. Visited the police high command today. I want to commend them. They have had a very good start for the year. They had an excellent year and a good start to the 2026. And I'm really just using these last 2 weeks of the rehabilitation to reset the mind, take a look at things and get current. But still at university 2 days a week and will be fully operational for March 2026. Let me express my appreciation to all my colleagues, to the public sector and to the wider public who have sent me words of support over the last few weeks. Rough passage, but they appreciate it.
Take that away, honey.
I am officially back in the ministry.
Okay. Let me make myself categorically clear. And I'm just laughing away. Now, Ori Strong, Andrew Honest, how long you think you can hide the truth? How long you think you can continue to put Band-Aid on a sword that is breaking out? Can't hide it for long, right? And things are going to reveal. Now, Jamaica, let me say this. Since Ori Strong is applauding the performance of Andrew Honest and applauding the performance of the Commissioner of Police, let me say to you, Ori Strong, I didn't think you do that well enough. I think you're toning down the performance of the Jamaica Labour Party. And I think you're also toning down the performance of the Commissioner of Police. So let me give you the accolades, right? There is no other administration as it relates to Commissioner of Police who had performed so well like Kevin Blake. Kevin Blake had done so extremely well that under his administration, he had made C-TOC in a full-fledged cocaine distribution hub. That is how well, right, Kevin Blake had performed. Kevin Blake had performed so well, being endorsed as the Gentleman of the Year as a result of being awarded with the proceeds of crime, getting a watch, a Gucci watch, for over $50,000 from the drugs done. No other Commissioner of Police had performed that well. None. No other administration, apart from Andrew Honest, that had turned C-TOC in a cocaine distribution hub. I am saying it because it is what it is. Now, people, last week when I said that the dismantling of C-TOC did not take place as a result of Andrew Honest or Ori Strong or Kevin Blake, who decided that they are going to deal with checks and balance. We have the intel now. They were definitely instructed, right, by agencies of United States to dismantle C-TOC based on evidence that they have. So for the Commissioner of Police, who had gotten Gentleman of the Year, it is a situation that now you have to dismantle an elite team that was created by the People's National Party. That was created by the People's National Party, C-TOC. And under the People's National Party, C-TOC, under the leadership, right, of the then person who used to lead C-TOC, right, I think his name is Alvin. Not one incident as it relates to drug incident and their involvement with drugs. Not one. But under the Andrew Holness administration, something that created by the People's National Party to fight crime. Under Andrew Holness administration, under our strong portfolio responsibility, and under various commissioner of police being delegated, right, to lead the Jamaica Constabulary Force, we have seen where C-TOC automatically changed its mandate and now becomes a cocaine distribution hub. Jamaica, let me show you what was the mandate for C-TOC when it was created by the People's National Party. Kudos to the People's National Party. Bring up that document. Let us show the people the function and the mandate, the responsibility of C-TOC. Let us show that. Now here it is, my Jamaican people. I want you to read with me that this was created under the People's National Party for the fundamental reasons for what it was created for. Formed in 2014 by the People's National Party, the C-TOC is an upgrade of the former Organized Crime Investigation Division, ACID. Previously, ACID was the sole law enforcement agent with direct responsibility to execute mutual legal assistance requests. Accordingly, it has developed the expertise to execute requests quickly and efficiently when working with foreign law enforcement agencies. Currently, C-TOC is the main unit under the JCF that interfaces directly with the central authority to execute formal MLA requests. It does the necessary preparatory work to provide support to visiting foreign law enforcement officials, execute requests on behalf of foreign country, and conducts search operation. C-TOC overall objective is to strengthen the country's security framework to effectively combat terrorism and organized crime in all forms. It has responsibilities for the following units within the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Bulletin point 1, counterterrorism and special investigation. National strategic anti-gang transnational crime. Communication forensic and cyber crime. Operations and special inquiries as it relates to stolen motor vehicle and major robberies. Constabulary financial unit. Fraud squad, including electronic fraud. Intelligence and covert evidence gathering. Anti-trafficking, in person intellectual property. Take that away. What happened to C-TOC today? That C-TOC under Andrew Holness administration had hit a big time low, the core of embarrassment to Jamaica as it relates to a prime minister. We are going 4 consecutive years not having a statutory declaration certified, and a deputy prime minister that featured in WikiLeaks, and what it appears currently booked on a deportation list. So all the play that you want to play it down, right, the people are going to know. And the people are realizing that everything that we are speaking about is coming true. Everything that we had spoken about and revealed. We had spoken about that C-TOC was going to dismantle right? Here it is. C-TOC had no dismantle. So then, Mr. Armstrong, right? We have you in terms of you giving all the accolades that you want to give to the Commissioner of Police, right? And all the accolades that you want to give to Andrew Holness. Now we are going to tell the people what is happening now with C-TOC. So my panelists, I want you to just, kick back, relax, take your essential notes. That's, when you call upon, right, you can relate. Now, honey, let us get into the next topic. A bongarang tonight, people. Big and serious. This is going to be really riveting, shocking. Let us play this so that the people can hear. Jamaica, let me make you hear this.
I'm Paula Ann Porter-Jones, and these are the latest stories from the Radio Jamaica News Center. Police Commissioner Dr. Kevin Blake has announced that a new specialized investigation branch has been established to take over the functions previously performed by C-TOC. A highly placed source in the Jamaica Constabulary Force says the implication of this development is that C-TOC is being disbanded. Prince Moore has this report.
In a statement last evening, Commissioner Blake announced that the new Specialized Investigation Branch will be replaced under the umbrella of the Crime and Security Portfolio. The High Command said the creation of a new crime-fighting unit represents a deliberate strategic move to strengthen investigative capacity, address structural weaknesses, close operational gaps, and reinforce institutional integrity within the force, particularly in relation to complex, high-risk, and sensitive criminal investigations. The SIB replaces and reorganizes several elite investigative formations that previously operated within the Crime and Security Portfolio. Under the new structure, the Transformational Crime Investigation Division, encompassing Trafficking in Persons Unit, Intellectual Property Crime, Kidnapping Unit, Special Investigation Unit, the Fugitive Apprehension Team, and the Legal and Quality Management Unit will be placed under the SIB. These units were previously under the command of C-TOC. The Firearm and Narcotics Investigation Division, FNID, was also removed from the oversight of C-TOC. Prince Moore, Radio Jamaica News.
Take this away, honey. My Jamaica people, hear the shocking truth. Why that has taken place. That the DEA had caught C-TOC red-handed, stealing their exhibit. C-TOC had seized over 6,000 kilograms of cocaine, my Jamaican people. And only 1,000 kilograms, sorry. No, electricity. People, well, you know what I want, because this is electrifying. So I am liable to make those mistakes because it is electrifying. So then, let me say this to Orchestra. No other administration had performed better than Andrew Holness' administration. I mean, when you have C-TOC who sees 6,000 kilograms of cocaine and stole 5,000 kilograms of the DEA exhibit, no other administration in the history of Jamaica had done that. So we have to give them kudos for that. They are performing well, extremely well. They get A+ for that. Would you say that, Melting Pot?
Yes, man. I mean,
What
they
sort
pass
of
with
grade
flying
will you give them,
colors.
Rottigan? A+? All right. Rottigan shake him head. So then that sort of performance, Horace Strong, is an excellent performance. A+ of arm performance. Seized 6,000 kilograms and stole 5,000 of the DEA exhibit. They have them on record. It is a crying shame what is happening to Jamaica. And what makes it worse, Brother Rottigan and Melting Pot, the 1,000 that they put in storage, they went back into the storage and steal some of it. So then, Horace Strong, no other administration in the history of Jamaica had performed that well.
Police force.
No other administration in the history of Jamaica that caused an entire unit to be dismantled. And with that said, Gentleman of the Year being endorsed by Jokes Done, right? I mean, proceed of crime, $50,000 Gucci watch, Rolex, sorry, 50,000 Rolex watch. Don't bother take it off your hand, you know, Commissioner of Police. Make it stay right there. As a matter of fact, you know, if you're upon the deportation list, that can make you look good. You can become a modeler. Right, where that is concerned. Don't take it off for your wrist. Make it stay. Don't take it off your wrist. The proceed of crime is showing, is blinging. What a crime shame. People want to hear some things tonight. Let me tell them, as it relates to that, we are getting information from the inside. And let us show them on the next documentation, on the next document, that we have top brass in the force that are communicating with us. And you know why? They want justice to be done. They do not agree with the level of criminality that is taking place. And so then they are sending us the evidence. They had sent me, Jamaica, let me tell you plain and straight, they had sent me the entire force order of the dismantlation. And I'm going to show it to you, Jamaica. They have sent me the entire force order. And you know, when Mystic talk, it is no joke. Honey, put up the entire force order, right? So to make Jamaica see that we are just not talking. We are showing the evidence. So, yes, Commissioner of Police, here it is. Yes, Orchestra. This is on Mystic Sensation desk. Here it is. Jamaica Conservative Force order. Right, serial number 410505, February 2026. We are showing you that we have it. I am not even going to read the Commissioner Corner because I am not interested in terms of what you have to say at your Commissioner Corner. So I'm not going to read the Commissioner Corner. I am just going to page 19 and 20 and show Jamaica the entire dismantling of C-TOC. This is shameful, Jamaica. This is a disgrace. This is a national disgrace. let me just get to that area right then and there, right? Where you have confidential. All right. We are getting right then and there. So,
You said 19?
okay, so resumption, yes.
You're at 13.
Okay, let me just go to 19, page 19, because we marked it already, you know.
You're at 14.
Okay, we are going to page 19, people.
Keep going.
Where we see the bangarang. Want to see the bangarang.
One more.
All right, here's the bangarang, people. Now, some resignation. You have Constable Cypher T. Forrester with pay, right? He had resigned. Constable Chanel S. Johnson resigned with pay, right? Constable Linton W. Hewitt resigned. Declined to re-enlist, right? These persons cannot be re-enlist, right? I don't know what sort of criminality they involve in, but these people definitely involved in some level of criminality, so they decline to re-enlist, and that is Constable Courtney A. Anderson, right? Detective Constable Cadian J. Bernard, and Detective Sergeant Dwayne L. Gibbs from St. James CIB, right? So they automatically kick him out, right? Now, look at this dismantling. Look at the disgrace, people. Look here. Detective Sergeant Clayton A. Farron from C-TOC, right? St. Andrew C. Detective Corporal Cavawayne N. James, C-TOC, right? Look at there. Look at the people. Glenroy Watson, Constable Lamar D. Richard, Abigail B. Jarrett. Shannon, see there? See the list there? Right? We only show them so we have it. Look at this. People, the entire agency dismantled. It is a crying shame, Jamaica. That's something that the People's National Party built to fight crime. The Jamaica Labour Party administration turned it into a cocaine distribution hub. Take it away on it. Why am I saying this? Might be someone is saying, Mystic Sensation, you're going a little bit too far. I am saying it because of the evidence that someone sent me last night, where Detective Inspector communicating on the seriousness of this situation. I'm going to make you hear the clip, my Jamaican people. I want you to listen good enough. It is terrible. It is, believe you me, so despicable. Andrew Holness, Horace Strong, Commissioner of Police, and let me stress the fact again, as it relates to how, right, some people talking about the Commissioner of Police and the gentleman of the year. No shame. Those persons who highlighted the Commissioner of Police to be the gentleman of the year. No shame. No shame. Can you come out and talk now? The Commissioner of Police is a disgrace to Jamaica. Jamaica, I want to hear this. Listen what I want to hear. I want to play the evidence here. Play the evidence.
Why? What Black Radio say? When me hear from good for a while now. When C-TOC do, let me tell you something. This is the start of what is to come. I tell you. Transfer at the start of what is to come. Me say America is demanding strong action. A 5,000 kilogram of coat the man ain't getting. Carrying 1,000 and take a 4. And the 1,000 we didn't can still can account for it. Then blunder in everywhere. And narcotics supposed to be the storekeeper for all drugs. Them the quantity. Far less than that much as them there. And me say the man go watch some footage and way back from last year. Man I sell coca C-TOC office like you sell flour a corner shop. Country road just go there 3 months ago buy house cash at home. One of the man out there say buy 2 X8. And me say the Colombian say it won't go like that. They blunder big time. They blunder big time.
Play it again, honey. I want the Jamaica. I want this to rinse in the Jamaica and them ears. Play it again.
Why? What black radio say? When me hear from good for a now. When C-TOC do. Let me tell you something. This is the start of what is to come. I tell you. Transfer the start of what is to come. Me say America is demanding strong action. A 5,000 kilogram of coat the man ain't getting. Carrying 1,000 and take a 4. And the 1,000 within can still can account for it. Then blunder in everywhere. And narcotics supposed to be the storekeeper for all drugs. Them the quantity. Far less than that much as them there. And me say the man go watch some footage. And way back from last year. Man I sell coca C-TOC office like you sell flour a corner shop. Country road just go there 3 months ago buy house cash at home. One of the man out there say buy 2 X8. And me say the Colombian say it won't go like that. They blunder big time. They blunder big time.
Take it away, honey. All I can say to Andrew Ones and Horace Strong and the Commissioner of Police, you prepare for what to come. Now let me read and go down in some of the details. I don't ready for the panel yet. I want you to just relax and just let me provide the background. Without any delay on it, let us go to the drugs, what they are talking about. We are going to read it and we are going to show video. Right? We are going to show Jamaica. When we talk about the level of seriousness, this is not joking. I want you to bear time with me tonight. Let me carry out through the sequence here and give you a little snapshot. Here it is, Jamaica Constabulary Force, detective from the Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch, C-TOC, seized approximately 1,000 parcels of cocaine value at 150 million. Right? During an operation in Hanover on Saturday, August 3, 2020, on Sunday, August 3, 2025. The C-TOC operation team conducted a pre-dawn operation between 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. during which they searched a premises and discovered the illicit drugs. No arrests were made. As usual. So what you do with this drugs, C-TOC? No arrests were made in connection with the seizure. However, the police are pursuing strong lead to apprehend those involved. Acting Senior Superintendent of Police, right, SSP Victor Barrett of C-TOC stated that this operation is part of a larger effort to target transnational crime and syndicate. Right? Did you tell anyone about your involvement? Now, this operation is the result of an extensive and sustained investigation into a major drug trafficking network believed to be involved in multiple smuggling attempts over the time. Several key individuals linked to the syndicate have been identified and investigative efforts are ongoing, said Acting Senior Superintendent Barrett. C-TOC continues to implement the focused deterrent strategy established by the Police High Command to target the major players in these drug rings. Now, the people want to learn about you later. The police continue to encourage the public to report any suspicious activities by contacting C-TOC at 876-967-1389. So when you're going for the people and you seize the drugs, then of course you convert it to you guys personal use. It is not only police benefiting, politicians are benefiting from the drugs too. Not only police, politicians are benefiting from the drugs too. Jamaica, let me show you some serious situation under Andrew Holness administration, right, as it relates to the amount of drugs being bust, being seized, and C-TOC, with the assistance of politicians too, using the agency as a storeroom where you have a police coming out, and saying that you have drugs being selling at C-TOC. No, Jamaica, we can't make up this, We can't make up this, Remember, I know me say it, That's why I play the audio, I know me say it, The audio sent to me early this morning. And I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. This is police reporting these things. Now, let us get into some of the video of the drug boss. Can't make up this. We can't make up this. We can't make up this, people. So let me just give you some history here that is going on, so you understand the high level of criminality.
The Jamaica Defense Force Coast Guard has made a major strike against drug traffickers seeking to smuggle cocaine into the island. This followed the seizure of 506 kilograms, or more than 1,000 pounds of cocaine last evening along the country's southern coastline. Now, the multi-million-dollar drug bust occurred after the JDF Coast Guard.
So this is the one that we read out earlier, As I said, I am showing you now the video so you can see it for yourself, right? This is some of the drugs that C-TOC had taken away and converted to their personal use. Listen, people, look at it.
Intercepted a suspicious vessel south of Moran Point. This led to a high-speed chase. Now, during the encounter, the drug traffickers reportedly dumped several packages overboard and escaped. The Coast Guard recovered the drugs, which was handed to the narcotics police. It is believed the cocaine shipment originated from South America. Head of the Firearms and Narcotics Investigation Division, Superintendent Petrie Rowe, told our news center that the cocaine has a street value of hundreds of millions of dollars. He said the FNID and the JDF Coast Guard have been working closely with their overseas partners to intercept illicit drugs entering Jamaica's borders. Now, Superintendent Rowe also added the seizure is a significant blow to organized crime in Jamaica.
Take it away, significant blow to organized crime in Jamaica. When it gone into the cocaine distribution hub at C-TOC. It is a dent, but it now gone into the distribution of Andrew Holness, right? And Horace Strong, and the Commissioner of Police distribution of C-TOC becomes a distribution hub for cocaine. And I say it, when you hear the voice of the officer saying that you can just go to C-TOC and buy your drugs. This is how damaging this thing is, This is how damaging this thing is. Now, let us give you some of the biggest drug busts under Andrew Holness administration, and we are asking Andrew Holness, where are all those drugs after these drugs were seized? Remember now, an audit has been done and the amount of drugs missing. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let us play and show Jamaica the history under Andrew Holness administration, listen to people. Look at it.
Jamaica has long been a focal point for drug trafficking in the Caribbean. Its strategic location makes it a prime transit point for traffickers moving drugs like marijuana and cocaine from South America to North America and Europe. Over the years, Jamaican authorities have made significant seizures in their efforts to stem the flow of drugs, often involving high-stakes operations, international cooperation, and, at times, shocking twists. Law enforcement agencies continue to work tirelessly to disrupt illegal operations. Several major drug busts have captured headlines, with some of the biggest making history on the island. Here's a look at the top 10 biggest drug busts in Jamaica's history. Number 10. Kingston Container Terminal Cocaine Bust, 2015. In December 2015, customs officials at the Kingston Container Terminal discovered 500 kilograms of cocaine hidden in a shipping container. The drugs were concealed among legitimate goods, demonstrating the lengths traffickers go to in order to bypass port security. The street value of the cocaine was estimated at over 1 billion Jamaican dollars, making it one of the largest seizures at the terminal. The operation underscored the vulnerability of Jamaica's ports to drug trafficking, given the high volume of containerized shipping that passes through the island. Following this bust, the Jamaican government increased efforts to strengthen port security, including the use of advanced scanning technology and better coordination with international partners. Despite these measures, the incident highlighted the ongoing threat posed by transnational drug trafficking networks. Number 9. Rocky Point Seizure, 2016. In October 2016, police in Clarendon conducted a major operation in Rocky Point, a well-known fishing village, resulting in the seizure of 700 kilograms of cocaine. The drugs, valued at over 1 billion Jamaican dollars, were hidden in a boat docked at the shoreline. Authorities arrested several individuals, including foreign nationals, suggesting that the operation was part of a larger international smuggling network. Rocky Point has long been a focal point for drug trafficking due to its proximity to international waters and its active fishing community, which traffickers often use as cover. This bust highlighted the increasing use of small ports and fishing villages by drug syndicates seeking to evade detection. It also emphasized the need for community cooperation in identifying and reporting suspicious activities. Number 8. St. Elizabeth Cocaine Bust, 2017. In November 2017, law enforcement officials in St. Elizabeth seized 1,000 kilograms of cocaine during a carefully planned operation. The drugs, packed in duffel bags, were discovered in a rural area, suggesting that traffickers were using remote locations to store and distribute their shipments. The street value of the cocaine was estimated at billions of Jamaican dollars, making it one of the largest busts in the island's history. St. Elizabeth, with its relatively isolated terrain and access to Jamaica's southern coastline, has become a hotspot for drug trafficking. Authorities believe the cocaine had been smuggled into the country by sea and was awaiting further distribution. The bust demonstrated the importance of intelligence-driven operations in disrupting drug networks and highlighted the ongoing challenges posed by Jamaica's geographical location and porous borders. Number 7. JDF Coast Guard Interception, 2024. On February 5th, 2024, the Jamaica Defense Force, JDF, Coast Guard intercepted a vessel off the island's southern coast, leading to the seizure of 1,192 kilograms, 2,629 pounds of marijuana. The drugs, valued at 26 million Jamaican dollars, were found in waterproof packages that were likely meant to be transferred to another vessel at sea. This type of maritime trafficking, often referred to as go-fast smuggling, is a common tactic used by drug syndicates to avoid detection. The operation was a testament to the effectiveness of the JDF's maritime patrols, which have been bolstered by international support and improved surveillance technology. Officials believe the marijuana was destined for Central America or the United States, highlighting Jamaica's role as a transshipment hub in the global drug trade. The interception also underscored the need for continued investment in coastal security to combat increasingly sophisticated smuggling techniques. Number 6. Alligator Pond Operation, 2020. Another major marijuana bust took place on June 4, 2020, in Alligator Pond, Manchester. Security forces seized 1,164 kilograms of marijuana during an operation targeting a smuggling ring operating along Jamaica's southern coast. Although no arrests were made, the seizure was a significant blow to the traffickers, who were reportedly using the area as a launching point for drug shipments to Central America. Alligator Pond's location near the coastline makes it a strategic hub for smugglers, who often evade detection by blending in with local fishermen. The bust highlighted the challenges faced by law enforcement in monitoring Jamaica's extensive coastline. Despite the success of this operation, authorities acknowledged that traffickers would likely attempt to regroup and continue their activities. Number 5. Lance's Bay Marijuana Seizure, 2020. In June 2020, the Jamaica Defense Force conducted a major operation in Lance's Bay, Hanover, resulting in the seizure of 1,179 kilograms of marijuana. The drugs, packed in several large bags, were being loaded onto a vessel when authorities intervened. 3 Bahamian nationals were arrested during the operation, signaling the international dimensions of the marijuana trade in Jamaica. The Lance's Bay bust was significant not only for its scale, but also for its location. Hanover, situated on Jamaica's northwestern coast, has become a key point for maritime smuggling. Drug traffickers often use small fishing boats to transport marijuana to the Bahamas, where it is further distributed. This operation also demonstrated the importance of the JDF's maritime capabilities in intercepting illegal shipments. Number 4. Spur Tree Marijuana Bust, 2020. The Spur Tree Marijuana Bust in May 2020 remains the largest marijuana seizure in Jamaica's history. During a raid in Manchester, police discovered 3,946 kilograms, 8,700 pounds, of compressed marijuana stored in several large packages. Valued at approximately 35 million Jamaican dollars, the haul was part of a sophisticated smuggling operation. 4 individuals were arrested at the scene, and authorities suspected that the drugs were destined for export, possibly to other Caribbean islands or North America. This bust highlighted the evolving nature of Jamaica's marijuana trade, which had traditionally been dominated by small-scale cultivators. In this case, the sheer volume of drugs indicated the involvement of a well-funded and organized syndicate. The operation also underscored the challenges faced by law enforcement in rural areas, where traffickers exploit rugged terrain and limited police presence to conduct their activities. Number 3. Port Royal Cocaine Haul, 2002. In August 2002, Jamaican authorities conducted what was, at the time, the largest cocaine seizure in the country's history. More than 3,000 pounds, approximately 1,360 kilograms, of cocaine were found near Port Royal. The operation was notable not just for the volume of drugs seized, but also for the arrest of a policeman and a suspected Colombian national. This highlighted the deep connections between international trafficking networks and local operatives, as well as the challenge of rooting out corruption within law enforcement ranks. The drugs, with a street value of over 500 million Jamaican dollars at the time, were suspected to have been part of a large shipment destined for overseas markets. Port Royal's location near Kingston made it an ideal spot for smugglers, who often use small boats to transport contraband to larger vessels waiting offshore. This bust marked a turning point in how Jamaican law enforcement approached drug interdiction, leading to the introduction of more sophisticated surveillance and intelligence-gathering techniques. Number 2. Kingston Freeport Terminal Bust, 2023. The Kingston Freeport Terminal Bust on January 14, 2023, was another monumental operation in Jamaica's fight against drug trafficking. Customs officers discovered 1,250 kilograms of cocaine concealed within cargo on a vessel that had arrived from Colombia. The drugs were packed into 50 duffel bags and hidden among legitimate goods, showcasing the elaborate methods employed by smugglers. The street value of the seized drugs was estimated at 9 billion Jamaican dollars, 62 million US dollars, making it one of the costliest drug hauls intercepted at a Jamaican port. This bust underscored the strategic importance of the Kingston Freeport Terminal, a major entry point for goods into the Caribbean. Security officials noted that drug cartels often exploit the high volume of containerized shipping to smuggle narcotics. The operation required collaboration between the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, customs officials, and international partners. Despite the success of this bust, authorities warned that similar attempts would likely continue as traffickers adapt to heightened security measures. Number 1. Havendale Cocaine Bust, 2024. On August 6, 2024, law enforcement officials in Jamaica made headlines with one of the most significant drug seizures in the island's history. The raid, conducted in Havendale, St. Andrew, uncovered a staggering 2,526 kilograms of cocaine. The drugs were found in a hidden compartment of a truck during a joint police-military operation. This seizure, valued at over 12 billion Jamaican dollars, approximately 75 million US dollars, sent shockwaves across the region due to the sheer scale of the operation. 5 individuals were arrested, including a 72-year-old man, signaling the involvement of individuals across various age groups in drug trafficking networks. This bust showcased the growing sophistication of smuggling operations in Jamaica. Authorities suggested that the drugs were likely destined for North America, as Jamaica is often used as a transshipment point. The operation involved careful planning, undercover work, and intelligence sharing between local and international agencies.
And let me speak before I bring in the panel. Now, when we listen to the audio, right? Let me say this, Jamaica. DEA has now reviewed as it relates to the information that we heard on the audio, right? Some of these bust and how drugs actually process out of the system, right? And based on certain information, right, that we are looking on, right, they are finding some riveting situation. And so then, instruction being given to dismantle C-TOC. And so, I am saying, as what, right, the information said, that it is the smoke. So, things are going to be serious going forward. So don't look on, when we look on Parliament today and we see, things seems to be just nice and dandy and it is business as usual. It is no business as usual. No business as usual. I am going to bring in the panel, but later on, we are going to ask Andrew Ones a very serious question. Very serious question. And it is going to open cans of worms. So without any delay, of course, let me bring in the opening batsman while, of course, Brother Rattigan steaming down. Opening batsman, step up.
Yes, sir, Byron. Why, the whole seizure of these drugs, open up several can of worm. And the drug seizure with me I talk about are the one down in Hanover, the 3rd of August 2025. Now we know a Barrett carry out the operation there, man MT. Yeah? But Barrett never knew who the drugs belongs to. So when I look through certain things where you just outline, Barrett said, no one was arrested, but investigation is ongoing. I want to ask Barrett if him going to investigate DEA. Him could not look for nobody else. A DEA exhibit for them thing. Because DEA knows say anywhere rat smell burn coconut, them will find it. Well, in the case of the police, anywhere cocaine, they them find that, Them immune to that. Them know the smell of it. Them can't trace it and find it from even 100 miles away. Don't go and blow in them direction. People understand what melting pot I say. Yeah? So, Barrett, come clean, man, and stop going like a text say, people don't know where I'm going. We have them intel a long time. Long time. Sit down, pan. Because we just have wait for the right occasion to speak about. Now it bloat, not classify anymore, it unclassified. So we are going to divulge in it and, relate as we know. Alright? So when you are coming here, look at garbage thing about further investigation is ongoing. I want to know who you investigate. Can't be no ghetto youth, you know. And this one is not the big boys, them. Yeah, not the PSOJ guy, them own. We can categorically state that belongs to DEA. So when you go up on the scene and your team, yeah, there was 6,000 kilograms of cocaine. You felt so good because you go find it in our wilderness. Yeah, you take 5,000 kilograms for yourself. You decide to earn in 1,000 to C-TOC. Now that operation, you know, yeah, was supervised by ACP Glenford Miller. Him supervised the Seaga and him supervised the theft of the 5,000 kilo. So Glenford Miller, we are shining the spotlight on you too, you know. You are no Barrett alone involved in the team, you know. Yeah, because you confide in the whole operation, Seaga and theft. You understand? And this is major cause to concern. Because DEA know them plan the exhibit there. And we had found a look rat police to smell it. On a come feed. But one never knows who it belong to. So when una put in 1,000, DEA laugh and say, look how we catch a rat them. We put on 6 pieces of burnt coconut. Them take 5 pieces to themselves and put the and C-TOC 1 piece of burnt coconut. Alright? Here it is now, where things get bitter. Based on the facts that DEA know about this operation here, 100%, as to how much weight of cocaine was the exhibit. And to the facts that these men, these rat policemen, went in and steal DEA exhibit. I want to spin it now, say it's under 1,000 kilo. So DEA now, they know them big up, so yeah, FBI them and State Department, them just send down the extradition order. Because them know who are go up on the operation, you know. So some police boy are afraid right now, my Jamaican people. Right now, some police boy are afraid down in Jamaica. Panda operation at the 3rd of August 2025 down at Hanover. If we don't know about not more, we know about this one here for sure. Them boy, they afraid. I remember, you know, them boy, they have them complicit too, you know, who not turn up on the scene, you know. But who is involved? We can't call name if we want, but, you know, sometimes we rather not. But we can shine the spotlight to a different spectrum to just highlight how much the GSF is benefiting from cocaine. Because here it is now, you know. You have a group of them down in Manchester, you know. Now talk about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know. Over that total, so you can find out the next number. Yeah? I be a Rolex, the man, them a Maglina. A party down there. Now you tell me, my Jamaican people. How on earth a policeman in a Jamaica supposed to be wearing a watch valued 8 million Jamaican dollars? Because that's what it calculates to, based on the facts that we know, say it value 50K United States dollar. You understand? Now it show you about the police them gone now, you know. Them gone into a stratosphere. But none of we could have ever believed them could have climbed. Them move out of the rank of serve, protect and reassure, man. And gone in a rank of a gold and galore. Them the gold Rolex watch there. People. Them the Rolex watch there, you know. Let me tell you, I like sports, you know. I see some big tournament, like all Wimbledon and all them thing there. When the man them win the men's singles final at them get like Federer, you know. Yeah, man, for good performance. So I want to know if these bunch of rats from the GSCF receive those Rolex for good performance. In shipping back the substance with them steal from DEA, distributing it back, some kingpin overseas, and kingpin say, what? Reward coming your way, man. You and the squad of them, man. Every man in a bling bling Rolex. Down a Manchester the party. It was amazing. People mouth was in what's that? Can't believe with them eyes. One such individual, you know. Gentleman of the year. Gentleman of the year, you know. Involved, have links to drug kingpin. Gentleman of the year, pick up him award, man. Best commissioner ever. You understand? God, him a reap havoc out of it, but we shouldn't surprise the whole family network around this gentleman of the year, the so-called commissioner of police where we have in Jamaica. They're always involved and intertwined with cocaine. One of them come from up MDL too. A theme stumping ground up the side, coming with him long time before him even get to that level there, people. We know when him have him look a briefcase, I take Interceptor, but one bus name Interceptor. We are lady name is Fear with a have. And that bus name drive pan. Yeah, but I go and tell you why. It was an ex-policeman when named Wanga used to drive the bus there. So him always go with Wanga bus. And it come from it live up where him live. Yeah? Him used to have him briefcase sit behind the doctor kind of one when him come off him in a problem through the passage. Because you know them bus never up a morning time. Look where him reach now. Look where that piece of garbage reach. Guy Smiley, you know how you me attack, you know. Ellington. Yeah? Because you name call upon this bangarang on several occasions. Schoolboy Richie and we know the whole episode. Yeah? So, go too. It not surprise me. Because Jamaican people take it as it is. Yeah? With a pinch of salt. But Owen Ellington is still the commissioner. Remember, up in I state, them send him down, you know. When them go on upon Schoolboy Richie, you know. Them send him back at Jamaica to come resign. He never resigned at his own will. Or at the Minister of National Security, displeasure. United States send back Guy Smiley to come resign. Because remember them all him counterpart Schoolboy Richie at the same time, you know.
That is true. I can confirm that. He was sent back to resign under the instruction of DEA. That he needs to go back to Jamaica and resign. That's true. So go ahead, Melting Pot. Just confirm it.
Yeah. So the whole scenario is just a readmission. Yeah? Of where them have gone with long time. So when you look, just look on the lifestyle of the commissioner where we have now, man. I don't know some reputable people, you know, come out and whoop them out, you know. And, you know, back the endorsement of him being gentleman of the year. What kind of gentleman of the year we are going to have people maritorial home over port over that? That alone disqualify him. What that is saying to his matrimonial home. So, these people who would have looked upon as reputable Jamaican citizens, who is showing them support and them weight behind this piece of shit here, about gentleman of the year, egg they all over on the face now, because on the year where mix up in a egg they all over on the face. That damn disgrace somehow don't need to lock on them out. Lock on them out and stay out. Yeah, because certain thing would not forget on yourself involved in, you know. Yeah. Because we know no red eye, you know. I want no belly long. And anyway, the spoils don't want let no support behind it because we reap the benefit, find the crumbs. Somehow no no satisfaction within yourself, you know. Down no want more, down no can bite and chew. Yeah. So egg upon the whole on the face. Yeah. I mean I said to my Jamaican people, some people shouldn't even have go down the road there, you know. Some people have been exposed to the world from a tender age, receive millions in endorsement to travel the world. And they must have seen how, you know, first world country and society live and how their security head operate and perform. And make the comparison with what are going in Jamaica when we see we youth them gone by the wayside and, you know, certain people who responsible for justice and all these things turn a blind eye, yeah, towards the situation. Then when you come out and I endorse them. So certain people know themselves, yeah. So the whole thing now, my Jamaican people, is that C-TOC did have to dismantle. Yeah? DEA say enough is enough. So when we look on Liam Crab, just a crawl out time hole and come out, and I say, well, boy, you know, them have done a wonderful work last year and even the beginning of this year. Yeah? When at the beginning of this year, the police, them killed 12 people within 48 hours. Amazing in Crab. Amazing. But Crab, what you need to do is tell the people why you went into your hole. Because remember, you know, DEA know about you too. Was it because your name was on the list that sits on the DPP desk up till this blessed moment? And the Jamaican people them can't hear nothing? What is going on with that extradition order? Because remember a long time you itch up in a WikiLeaks, you know. And I watch a long time, them know every move you make. I remember you have friends too, from within your cabinet who depend it as well. Yeah, so the whole thing is that the police and its hierarchy in Jamaica is in a shamble as it relates today having to answer to a lot of questions from the drug enforcement agent. You understand? Yes. And people are quivering at them boot right now. Crab just gain back him composure, you know, and crawl out time hole. But you know, in time, you're so entrenched into a situation in your country, you can't stop big it up. So you have to big up the nasty criminal police that we are thief the cocaine. You have to big up all the head like Google too. They have good work. When Google to mash up the place and run down the place. Because Google to there, you know, as a face card, you know. I'm uncle, I still the commissioner Owen Ellington. And we have concrete evidence and sources in terms of, you know, knowledgeable communication skill. Yeah? See, him around the day-to-day affair. Because remember, I never resigned at him willing up people. He was forced. So when him come back to Jamaica now, you know, guys Smiley and Andrew and Dr. Crab, them just hurriedly say, you up now. Bring in one of my family members, you know. Bring in Joopy. Yeah? And them carrying Joopy. Joopy don't have a clue about the job. Joopy don't have a clue. Joopy coming like Alvin Gale, where Andrew take from JDF and put a ad pen. Not have a clue. But Joopy can remain. Because Joopy knows say, yeah, General still around the show. You understand? This is why under Joopy administration we have seen so much gone wrong within the police. Yeah? Within the GCF, everything has gone wrong. Police are draft gun from police up a Constant Spring over the same contraband cocaine. We hear Joopy come out and say nothing. Joopy attack people when not in line with where them are going with. Yeah? When certain policemen come out and vent them anger and them hear them attack them. And one such one is being Cameron And we did see what them do with Ron James as well. Yeah, so some policemen now say enough is enough. And them attack. We welcome that. Because it give you the material now for expanding. And that we are do. So we are make the entire world we tune in tonight for the Mystic Sensation Live. No, so the commissioner of police in Jamaica tie himself to drug kingpin in America. Yeah? And being awarded with Rolex watch, value $8 million Jamaican dollars. Him and him squaddy them. Muggling a $8 million Rolex watch down a Manchester party. It was amazing. I yield back the floor to my next brother on the panel.
Melting pot. Well said, melting pot. Solid punch. Love that. Now, in the meantime, let us hear from one other than Brother Rattigan. Brother Ratti,
Yeah.
To me, quite despicable. Go ahead, Brother Ratti.
Yeah, I mean, between you and Melting Pot, there's not much more to be said. I mean, you make all of the pertinent points, and I just hope the people watching, and I can see from the chat that they get it. They get it, they understand. The only thing now is what we're going to do with all of this information. You know, we just don't want information overload. We want action. I am not surprised by these things that have and continue to take place. In fact, I remember one time I'd asked whether or not proper inventory was done to account for the seizures, the drug seizures.
Yes.
Because we suspected that some of the drugs seized ended up somewhere else besides where it should be, in the evidence room, you know.
Yes.
And we also asked whether or not testing was being done on drug seized, because, you know, things look like things. And with no answer on that. But here's the thing. I try not to look at the shiny object and focus on the things that they're trying to to distract and divert your attention. And that is the murder rate. They come with that and they said, look, we're absolutely fantastic. We brought it to a low that hasn't been seen in decades. And so people were supposed to feel satisfied about that and look the other way with the extrajudicial killings and the drug seizures and the drug thievery and all this stuff. We were supposed to look the other way.
Exactly.
I keep thinking about the Baskerville fine. I don't even call it seizure, because up to now they can't figure out who brought the drugs to the airport. And if you recall, a Melting Pot and Lord Byron, if you recall, the gentleman who was in charge of C-TOC at one point, who was then like a high-ranking assistant commissioner, who's now the commissioner down in Turks and Caicos, he promised us that arrests were imminent.
Yes.
And say, in finishing time, in gone somewhere else, no arrests, right? So my people, I just want to think about this and think about it carefully. The shiny object is the murder rate, the crime rate, but particularly the murder rate. And I'm here to tell you, do not believe them. Do not believe them. Take it from me. Do not believe them. I have overwhelming evidence that those numbers that they gave you the end of the year and the beginning of the year, they're manufactured. They're manufactured. Trust me when I tell you that. Categories that they gave me, and this is the thing about it, is that's why sometimes you ask for information and you ask for it more than once, ask for it all 3-4 times, because you're going to get different information. Because here's what happened. I have the crime statistics based on what they gave me last year. I have it based on what they gave me last week, and I have it based on what they've provided on their website. Different numbers, all three of them. Some categories missing 70 dead bodies. We counted them last night, 70 bodies just
Yes.
missing. And we said, when them and we start add up and try, they can't account for the bodies. Some categories eliminated completely.
Wow.
And the way them so foolish, them send them send, you know, them send, not even, if I'm a son, them did send, sons them did send us to them with that seat. Them send me category to them white out and then photocopy and send and print and, and send, scan and send to me. And you can't see the white out. You can't see the white out. Unbelievable. So people, that is their shiny object. The shiny object is to tell you that the crime rate is the murder rate is below 1,000 and everything is fine and Jamaicans are safe and now you can go and sleep with your windows and your doors open. All I have to say to you is this: don't try that. Don't try that. Don't try that. I yield.
Thank you, Brother Ratty. All right, Jamaica, let me speak to you because we are going to go, we are going to travel right as it relates to deeper depth, which is going to be extremely serious. And we have to now put the Prime Minister under the microscope based on certain evidence. And I am saying this tonight because I would like the Integrity Commission investigators to take a look on what I'm going to present tonight. And I also, you know, I wouldn't mind if the DPP can really take a look in terms of what I'm going to present. Right? Now, the situation is where I want Jamaica to just understand where I'm going. Andrew Ones made a vital error in 2016 responding to Peter Phillips. Andrew Ones went to NNN and made a statement, right? I think in 2019 to Abka Fitz-Henley. What Andrew Ones had communicated to Abka Fitz-Henley, and based on what we are seeing now as it relates to C-TOC dismantled, and when we look on the Andrew Ones administration, the amount of drugs operation, I am going to bring you back and you are going to see where Andrew Ones found wanted put himself in a predicament as it relates to what he communicated on NNN. Jamaica, without any delay, I'm going to show you what he had communicated. I'm glad that Rattigan is here, and I'm glad that Melting Pot is here, and we are going to get into some serious things tonight. This is one of the reasons why Andrew Ones cannot come out and denounce drugs. Andrew Ones cannot categorically come out and denounce drug dan. Can't. Why is it that he can't come out and denounce? Now look at this, my Jamaican people. Let us find that information. Look at this. Okay, very good. Let us read. I hope you can see the information. It's good. Okay. Let us read. And Brother Ratty, and Melting Pot, we are going to pay special attention to this situation. Now, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he has assets valued at just over 151 million Jamaican dollars. His liabilities currently amount to just under $35 million. Holness disclosed his total assets and liabilities this afternoon in an interview with Nationwide News, The Gleaner, and The Observer newspaper. So Mr. Holness, Andrew Holness cannot take back this. Mr. Holness is the first Jamaican Prime Minister to publicly declare his assets and liabilities since P.J. Patterson made his declaration public in 2002. I don't know why they mention first Prime Minister. P.J. Patterson not declare before you. But that's why you always like, you know, the limelight and the public relation, right? Now, Mr. Holness made available to the media today his last 10 Integrity Commission declarations. They date from 2007, right? When he first became minister, and now the Integrity Commission declaration showed that just before, Brother Ratty, please, Melting Pot, play. Look, this is the area, the particular area that we are going to pay attention to tonight. The Integrity Commission declaration showed that just before Holness became a minister 10 years ago, he had assets totaling just under $47 million. Take that away. I want to show Jamaican people what Andrew Holness said. Ratty, you know you follow me. Melting Pot. So Andrew Holness said to Abka Fitz-Henley that all the talk them a talk and all the chat them a chat. And I talk about this and I talk about that. And big house. I came into the politics with $47 million. Andrew Holness came into the politics 1997. Melting Pot, write down that date. So, prior to 1997, make a reverse. We are reverse the curse. Right? We are going back instead. So 1997, prior to 1997, Andrew Holness have $47 million. The question that we are asking, where did he get that $47 million from? So Andrew Holness, what year Andrew Holness born? 1977. Check it, Melting Pot.
72.
1972. So 1972 from 1977 give you how much year?
25.
25.
1972 to 19 what?
77.
Only 5 years.
5 years. What time? 1997. Sorry. Come on, Melting Pot. You know some mistake. 1972 from 1997. What that give you? 25 years?
No, sir.
From 19.
What?
1972 to 19.
From 1972 to 1997.
Yeah. Okay.
25 years, so I'm correct.
25 years, yeah.
Yeah, man, work with me, man. Now work fast enough, so work with me. Yeah. So from 1972 to 1997, at age 25, Brother Rattigan, Andrew Holness amassed 47 million Jamaican dollars. Jamaica want to hear this, you know. At age 25, Andrew Ones amassed $47 million. Follow me again, Jamaica. Andrew Ones left University of West Indies 1994. When Andrew Ones left university in 1994, Andrew Ones owed student loan. Am I lying? You following me, Ratty? You following me, Martin?
100% correct with that. More student loan. He was gazetted as well. The Sunday supplement.
He was also gazetted that he owed student loan. Right? Now, Andrew Ones, upon leaving university, had worked with Edward Seaga for 2 years as it relates to charity. I want Jamaica to follow me. Andrew Ones have no prior business. And the only place where Andrew Ones worked was with Edward Seaga into a charity organization. Jamaica, listen to what I'm saying. The 47 million Jamaican dollars that Andrew Ones brought into the politics, Andrew Ones could have only gotten it through two mediums. I want the entire world follow me. The entire world. Mainstream media, all mediums follow me. Two mediums, Andrew Ones. Possible mediums. During the period 1995 and 1996, Edward Seaga had gotten money from Dan Crawford, 31 million US dollars. So the only means where Andrew Ones can get that sort of money as it relates to $47 million is either he took money from Edward Seaga or Andrew Ones involved in drugs operation. Listen to what I'm saying, Jamaica. The only means that Andrew Ones could have got that $47 million, he can't take it back, you know. He cannot take it back. He had done that interview on Abka Fitz-Henley and NNN, the Observer and the Gleaner. You cannot take back this Andrew Ones. So then, if you have to split the $47 million, divide that by 2, you would get what? $23.5 million. Am I correct?
Correct.
Quick maths.
Yeah, correct. 100% correct.
So you are telling me and tell the nation, Andrew Ones, that while working in the charity, you made $23.5 million per year? Wouldn't that you'd be suggesting? So then if that is so, you working in the charity as it relates to for Edward Seaga, you would have been making more money than the Prime Minister. Is that correct, Ratty? Is that correct, Melting Pot?
Yes, 100%.
You would have been making more money than the Prime Minister.
Yeah, definitely.
Then what would be the reason for him to venture into the politics?
No reason.
You see where I'm going? Anyway, let us come back to the $47 million. So the question need to be asked is, how did you come and journalists by $47 million? The Integrity Commission investigators need to go back there based on the statement. Right? You need to be questioned as it relates to the Jamaica Constabulary Force, where you need to clarify the $47 million. Where did you get it from? Did you get it from Seaga, in so doing, stealing it, or Seaga giving it to you? Or you get it from illicit means through the proceed of drugs? Where did you get it from? Where did you get it from? Are you saying to us that, okay, you'd have gotten it from because you set up 2 taxis, and so then that operation within the 2 taxis at the time when you set it up, you understand? I mean, but you'd have set up the taxi after. Isn't that correct, Ratty? So that couldn't be the taxi. There's no way that could be the taxi, because he set up the leader taxi in 97 or 1998. So then the taxi business is totally out of it. So you can't resort to the taxi that, okay, it is the taxi who give you this. So we could come back a little now and join us, because we separate the taxi out of it. You can't go to the taxi. The taxi can't go help you this evening when Mystic Sensation, Melting Pot, and Ratty gonna interrogate you. The taxi thing can't help you, because the taxi thing was 1997, right? And you have $47 million before that, because you told Abka Fitz-Henley that you came into the politics with $47 million, and you came into the politics 1997. Let us make that clear. Is it that clear, Melting Pot? All right.
Yes.
So then my question, and let me just bring in Brother Ratty here, right? And I'm just asking a question, Brother Ratty, that based on what Andrew Owner said, right, is it prudent for investigators to have a conversation with the Prime Minister as it relates to how we come by that $47 million to have some level of transparency? What say you on the matter, Brother Ratty?
I'm kind of surprised that they didn't ask him previously. And then we must also remember now, I'm trying to figure out how did he accumulate so much money in such a short space of time. And if you recall, his father was in the pig business. So he was there, and then he asked his father to get into the bag juice business. His father said, no. And then if you recall, when the taxi thing came up, his father said, there's nonsense, not go so. So we can just rule out that taxi thing right there. We can rule out the bag juice. We can rule out the pig business. And so the question is, where did he get this money from? That's the $1 million question. Where did he get this money from at such a tender age? And also remember, the $47 million that he's talking about, it has to be more than that, because remember, you have to pay taxes and you have to have living expenses. So if him saying my 47 net, then you know it's way past that for the gross. So we're, Mr. Prime Minister, we're asking you kindly to be forthcoming in your response. You're not under oath, so you don't run the risk of perjury here, but you need to let us know, how did you accumulate this amount of money? Because there are Jamaicans who would love to do this. Many Jamaicans would love to do this. In fact, most Jamaicans, if not all, would love to, get to, especially young Jamaicans. They're trying to figure out, how did the Prime Minister go from having nothing to, and it wasn't even a steady accumulation. You know what I mean? It wasn't steady. It was like broke, rich. and we don't have any record of him winning the lottery. We don't have any record of somebody gifting him this, whether they're, whether alive or dead, through a will or through beneficence. Somebody just give him money. We have no record of that. None. So the question is, where did you get this money? But something I've realized about the Prime Minister is that he's really entrenched in the things that he's saying. So it's hard for people to really reason with him and get truth out of him, because he believes the things that he's saying. He said him so many times, and he has no choice but to believe them. So he believes them. So, like, I don't want
to say that the Prime Minister is pathological, pathologically mendacious.
I don't worry how this man sleep. I don't worry how this man sleep. I really don't. Because he believes in the things that he has said. And so it's hard to convince him otherwise. I mean, reasoning with him, like, one-to-one, as how we're reasoning now, it's difficult to reason with him. It's going to take a court to make him straighten up, or it's going to take a foreign power to make him straighten up. But I can tell you this, the people of Jamaica, they won't get any answers out of him. They won't, at least not truthful answers. They won't get answers out of him, because the gentleman, everywhere in turn, you can see where there's a contradiction. There is something that just doesn't smell right. And when you start lifting up everything and look underneath it, you find even more problems with him. And, Mystic, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm a nobody. But the Integrity Commission has to do a lot more for me to call them Integrity Commission. I will continue to call them Commission, and I do it with a good spirit and a good intent, which is to have them to do proper investigations and then make proper referrals, whether it is for prosecution or something else. And I'll tell you why, because I went back and I looked at 7 cases that they screwed up. 7 cases that they screwed up. We're talking from the Prime Minister, from Westcon all the way to Market Me and everything in between. They screw up. And so let's wait to see if they're going to ask him. But I guarantee you this, Mystic.
Yes.
We are doing much better than the Integrity Commission, because they will not ask him. They will not ask him. It's a question that must be asked. The question is, who's going to ask it? I have no faith and no confidence that they will ask him, because you know what? They had the chance to do it and they didn't. They had the chance to take him to court and force him to come out and take a stand in terms of providing information regarding illicit enrichment. And they didn't. Instead, what did they do? They referred the matter to FID, which complicated it even more. They should have gone straight under the law. They could have gone straight to court and said, listen, we need this information and he's withholding it. Please tell him to comply. And the court would have granted the order. I know what would have happened. The Prime Minister wouldn't have provided the information. He would have challenged it. And think about the optics now. Because, we steer. We'll say, well, if I'm not guilty or something, why am I fight them? Just give them the information.
Yes.
But they didn't. They choose another road. But it is what it is. So we will ask the question, and I can tell you, we won't get any answer. But we know the answer.
Ratty, let me ask a question before you go. Based on that information that he had communicated out there, it's now in the public. It's, as it relates to, print media, right? Observer has it, right? NNN network has it. Can this be a part of FID investigation as it relates to that particular information, and where FID now can act upon it in terms of asking the Prime Minister as it relates to that $47 million prior in coming into politics? Could that be a part of their line of questioning?
Yes. Because remember now, with some of these violations, there is no statute of limitations, right?
Exactly.
So they can ask.
Exactly.
And also remember, no, when you go, if you if you go back and you look at the statutory declaration investigation conducted by the commission, you'll see where they've cast doubt. They have cast doubt on statutory declarations that they themselves certified.
Yes.
Going all the way back to 1997, 98.
Yes.
They've cast doubt on it, saying that as far as we can say, these things should have never been certified. We have problems with these things.
Yeah.
So, but to answer your question, yes, you know, he's made a statement. I don't know who's advising him, but I haven't seen it though. But I take at your word that he did make the statement about the 47 million.
Yes.
Right, and so now he has to. That should be a part of the record. That should be a part of the record.
All right, because that is what I also believe, that should form, right, because it is evidence out there. Is the Prime Minister who communicated it, right, and so for the process of justification, right, in seeking to verify as it relates to $47 million, right, should be verified, right, through interrogation, through the process of interrogation.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, Melting Pot, what say you on this? Because this is serious.
Well, this is a very serious and complicated matter we are dealing with. As it relates to Andrew Wallace, you know, giving that interview of him coming into Parliament with $47 million, and as Ratty rightfully pointed out, him has amassed more than that, because he would have to pay tax and, you know, living salary taken out of that as well. And plus, to let as a girl will love money from Seaga market to her mother, she not gonna know say him have so much money and him not give her none. So him give her a whole heap of money did utilize and him left back with 47 million. So we know have to carry this figure past 50 mil. But we could look on three potent point of discussion. Yeah? We know the original head of C-TOC was removed. You understand? By the Andrew Holness administration. Them wipe him out completely, you know. I remember C-TOC was commissioned under the People's National Party. So you know Andrew him go to work. Always wipe the blackboard clean. Yeah, and set him one subject matter and curriculum. Alright? But here it is. 2009, you know. Cuba highlight the high volume of drugs trafficking around Jamaican waters to the United States. Yeah. And we know Sir Andrew was a part of Bruce Golding administration at the time.
Oh, yes, you're correct. You're correct.
You understand? Yes. And then that high volume of cocaine and all different type of contraband and narcotic things like that did I run across Jamaica water at an alarming rate that the Cuban them did have to make United States them know where I'm going. No, as Byron rightfully said, and as I have said on previous occasion, is only two main sources would have provided Andrew Holness with such vast amount of millions. I mean, over 2 years, Andrew amassed about, let me see, I know, about 8 times the Prime Minister's salary. Yeah? Over 2 years, you know.
Oh, yes.
I don't think the Prime Minister get what? Like between 5 and 6 million. Yeah? And we are putting him at 40. I mean 50. Yeah? So 8 times 6 are 48. So I'm really upon a rapid upward trajectory in wealth. Even more than the Prime Minister where I run the country. Yeah? So the two sources is either I'm rob with him there, Seaga charitable organization. Yeah? And I know the wizard would not allow him to rob so much money. And go undetected. Yeah? So then the other era where we have to look into is during that period of time when him a part of the Bruce Golding administration when Cuba flagged Jamaica as a major participant in drugs trafficking in the region. And that's how me feel the guy making money from with my little 2 cents of critical thinking. Yeah, I even doubt, based on when I look through all of the investigation sequence and note what we have. Yeah, him couldn't touch the wizard to that extent. But the high volume, I remember him speak about them 47 million after this period where we are talking about, you know. And when him fully take the mantle, yeah, and, you know, 2016, and then him run go for him Big Mama, NNN, and go and get the interview. I remember now him have full control of the button, you know. Yeah, in him hand. And him not feel like so well then boy, you know, this can relinquish or drop. I'm so careful with this button and now. Him a proceed. That's why you hear some party member where him have talk about how much term him have to do. You can do up to 8 term and we have said then 8-5 a party. If you put it on the guy age at 50 or 90. Other guy then will say him I go live to that age. Because them have them thing locked because money stuck around them. Andrew, ever since him coming to politics, him have drugs money, have float all over the place, I buy vote and convince people. And if young youth, them like the little goodies bag, because them licky. So them work with that system there, because him can sustain that system there, you know. This is why you see cocaine so rampant throughout Jamaica. This is why never seen before so much drug bust totaling so much billion. Yeah? Remember under the People's National Party, them thing are not happening, you know. No. You notice marijuana now becomes non-existent when the mass is contraband. Non-existent. Just look round at Portland with the whole heap of cocaine them stuck on the riverbank where the boat come from. Just where there. And them have a couple bag of marijuana they like say, because them all left the marijuana there, you know, as exhibit like say at that. No, marijuana a small sprat. And the cocaine are the real deal in Jamaica right now. Yeah? Because the cocaine, it's utilized in a so much different aspect in a Jamaica economy. Even down in the hotel, God Almighty, it privileged down that it look bad. It look bad. You have people are flying from overseas that come to Jamaica, come have them coke party, cocaine party, me I talk about people in the said hotel them there. You understand? That's why them have them thing exclusively fence round and thing like that. And them no want no Jamaican there because, you know, yeah, foreigners them who come down, most of them come for this type of lifestyle in Jamaica, because cocaine there, Jamaica, wagga. So Andrew making money and him to come tell the Jamaican people say make it through that time there when the cocaine them a run through the border. When Cuba flagged the United States and warned them about the high drugs trafficking utilizing the Jamaica water space. Yeah? So, we know where him get it from. But if him honest enough and him want to be, you know, that guy who not afraid of nobody, then come out and come talk. I yield back the floor.
All right. Well said, Melting Pot. All right. We are going to get into more serious situation. But this time we are going to take a window, right, and look into the Prime Minister's wife. And that is quite interesting, right? When we take the investigation, right, and channel it, right, looking at Juliet Holness. So Jamaica, I am going to bring you, as it relates to what Juliet Holness revealed, right, into court, right? And we are going to read it. But there's a question that I'm going to ask. So look at this, Jamaica. Oni, bring up that document. right? And this not really look good, Jamaica. We are not, accusing anyone. We just asking questions because this needs some clarity. So here in Jamaica, and this is July 27, 2023. So we want to bear that in mind as it relates to the date, July 27, 2023. And this is what Juliet is saying in court. Juliet owns $800 million apartment complex court battle to continue in January 2024. Right? So pay attention to that. Juliet owns $800 million apartment complex court battle to continue in January 2024. Now, the trial involved an $800 million apartment complex owned by the developer Juliet Owners Company will continue in the Supreme Court in January 2024. Take away that. So Jamaica, I want for you to pay attention to this as it relates to a statutory declaration that Andrew Owners, under the investigation of the Integrity Commission, what being stated there. All right, so bring it up for me, honey. And I want Brother Ratty to look at this and Melting Pot to look at this. So Jamaica, this is it. Statutory declaration. Right? As it relates to the document that I have read, right, as it relates to 2023, that issue came about 2022 to 2023. So we are looking at that. But Ratty, this is what I'm asking. I want the entire Jamaica to see it, want the world to see it. That total assets in terms of Jamaican dollars, right? Both Andrew Owners and Juliet Owners revealed to the Integrity Commission that in 2022, right, the total assets, right, Jamaican dollars, 200 million, 367. Total assets in US dollars, right, in 2022, 10,157. Total liabilities, 1,652, 1,652, right, 612. All right, if we go to the net worth, the net worth in Jamaican GMD, right, 3 million, right, 282. So what am I getting at? Take that down, honey. Let me go back to Ratty. Brother Rattigan, let me ask you this question. Based on what you see there in terms of Juliet Owners and Andrew's statutory declaration, right? We have not seen nothing mentioned as it relates to the $800 million. Would that clearly indicate that they lied to the Integrity Commission? Let me just put you up, Brother Ratty, in terms of the truthfulness of their asset.
Yeah, it's clear. It's you don't need any interpretation on this. And even if, let's say that they felt that they made a mistake, we don't see an amended filing.
Yes.
To say, well, we made a mistake and so we're amending it. We didn't say that. All we have seen is that the filings have been uncertified. That's what we're saying. So, and there's a reason for that. When they fail to certify it, or they refuse to certify your statutory declaration, means that they have come across something that is wrong. I mean, Mystic, if you show one more example of the prime minister, you know, in a conundrum, you have shown a million. If you show one more, you've shown a million. You don't need to show no more because the thing is, I'm telling you, it's this is an amazing thing, and that's what I'm saying. This, I think there's something. I'm not in the medical profession, but I think there's something that needs to be examined with this prime minister because I don't know how he can do this and go out in the world and meet with foreign leaders and think to them no know, some of them don't know this. And him shake and skin him teeth and eat and carry on and just pretend like nothing that happened. As if him don't know. Because him know. Because here's why him know. I wrote to the Privy Council in England. And I forgot, it's over 100 members them have. And when I say Privy Council, we're not talking about the court Privy Council. We're talking about the advisory body to King Charles. And I wrote to them and I send them the things where you show, not all of the things you show, but some of the things you show. I pointed it out to them and I sent them the report and said, this man should not be in your company. This man is a disgrace. And then you know what I did? I sent the letter and the reports and everything. I sent all that to Parliament, the Jamaican Parliament. And I said, see the kind of man I have here we are leader, no? And the man just continued to smile and skin him grin and like nothing happened. Like nothing. But you know what? We have to continue. Despite what he's doing, we just have to continue because if we stop, Mystic, if we stop, if one person, here's how I look at it. If tonight we have one person who will watch this program and walk away saying, I've seen the evidence, I can no longer turn a blind eye to it. I've seen it that my prime minister is not above board. It will be well worth the program. And I'm sure we're going to have more than one person doing it. And that's why I have to keep doing it because that one person will then know, go and tell somebody else. They'll tell somebody else. And the beauty about social media is that all of this is recorded for posterity. So anybody have a problem, them can go back and say, yes, you know, then we talk about it on February 10th, you know, so go back and look at it. So, yeah, you know, this prime minister of ours, I mean, it's beyond belief. Beyond belief. And you know what funny? Him down in Panama, go down there with the Caribbean, Latin America funding group or whatever. Go down there, go beg some money. And I think the idea was 1 billion. I don't know if him get the billion. But him go down there and get the money. And I don't know why these people, there must be a reason why they continue to kind of host him, you know, because the thing is, you remember what the Auditor General said, you know, right after Melissa, what did she say? She said, I'm going to do a real-time audit to figure out if things are going where they should go. And then she do a report like about 2 weeks ago. And she said, things are not going where they're supposed. That's why that show you how bold these people are and brazen. That them just care. Yes, she told them, I am going to do a real-time audit. And them just continue doing them do. But the Jamaican people need to stand up now, man.
Oh, yes.
They need to. Yes. I yield.
Thank you very much for that, Ratty. Quite impactful. Now, Melting Pot, you have seen as it relates to, you know, that situation that she announced that our apartment complex, right, value over $800 million. But when you go back in terms of the Integrity Commission investigators, right, as it relates to what they had revealed to the Integrity Commission as it relates to their total assets and liability, income, assets and liability. We have not seen that on it, Melting Pot. What say you on the matter?
Simple mean they left that off deliberately. Because, I mean, that is giving the Integrity Commission insight into their vast amount of wealth. And they didn't want to do that. Because, basically, you know, we all know what the salary was then. You understand? Yeah, and even if you combine the wife and the husband, it still don't give them this type of influx of millions and billions that we are seeing. You understand? But one thing we must also remember as well, Yeah, when she came out and, put out this statement in the publication, she also had 2 more projects alongside the 800 million. There were 2 more projects.
Yes, because I heard of that as well. So I think you're on track where that is concerned.
Yes, there were 2 more projects
wow.
in the same vicinity of Lee's flat.
Yeah, and I think there's some solid information pertaining to that. So then melting pot, if one of the project, right, and if my memory serves me right, the $800 million complex, I was told that the other 2 projects possibly bigger.
Not possible, there were bigger projects.
Right.
The 800 million one was a little dibby one. Because she have conflict with the lady over the land. You understand? Because even right there and then, she tried to steal land from the lady that she did not acquire. And that's what blown things out of proportion. And it had to reach in the media space. Yeah? Because she wanted her project to be finished on time so she can reap the spoils. And this lady was not giving her the time of the day. Based on the lady know what she had given her in the agreement sale of the land. And the lady saw that she was encroaching on her part of the land, the seller. Yeah, so it reaches her and she come out lavishiously. Come tell you, them ego, the holiness, them ego get the better of them, And them say things where them not to say. Yeah? And then now it woke up so much kind of worm. Because one thing, people know who them are work for, And news get around. And our business leak out there. And we did see where even Andrew do a thing to where I change up all the plan. And I reconfigure the plan to maximize more usage of, of rooms. They are just some criminals who holding it them. That's what they are. And they must be investigated. Yeah. As what Ratty saying, and me been saying it all along. The Integrity Commission realized them make mistake from as far back as 1998. People remember some melting pot I say from 1998 this guy can't certify. The guy has never submitted the accurate report. He has kept back more than 75% of what I'm supposed to submit. As Pit Integrity Commission get. So what Andrew never knows now, by you submitting this small amount of wealth, yeah, in terms of asset and everything to the Integrity Commission. And now they are looking at you as this giant of a mega entrepreneur in a Jamaica. You're a thing bigger than Trump Empire, in a New York, right now in a Jamaica, Pound for pound, you're bigger than Trump Empire. So this is what the IC is now seeing and hearing. And this is why I see them blunder from way back when. I don't know how come them could make such a mistake. All right, so you get to it 1998. By 2005, me must catch up with you, You can't pass 205. Yeah? Because this guy, I show him colors from a long time.
Melting pot, hold on there. I just want Ratty to verify something because the Integrity Commission did make a response as it relates to why they had certified previous statutory declaration from the Prime Minister. And I think what they had said, right, that they did not do any detailed investigation. They accept it as face value.
Indeed.
So that's the reason as to why those statutory declaration was certified. There was no investigation had taken place.
You're absolutely correct. Because even ADMAT, I don't want to just quickly, like ADMAT, they said we just took ADMAT at face value. We didn't do any investigation into ADMAT as to the source of funds that led to the creation of this entity. They didn't. Sorry to interrupt.
Exactly. So it's the current investigation that they are doing now. They realize that they can't certify them, and then all of the statutory declaration prior to those who that were certified now would have been now affected. Right? Correct. That is the situation. Okay, go ahead, Melton.
Yes, so everything now boiled down to gravy. And you know when things boil down to gravy, you start that smell. And then you have got to take a peep in the pot. So when I see looking at the pot, you know me, I tell you the pot cover lift up without you have even lift up the pot cover. That's swell with wealth. You understand? Because I don't know circumstance, you know. Even Juliet and her own. Where she get the money from? You carry out so much investment development. Where, Juliet, did you get these money from? That's why I say I see now I've got tear down PRV, you know. And take a closer look at size 13. Size 13 heavy. Just like the heavy footwear you see she have. She heavy. She amassed so much amount of wealth. I have never seen anybody leave from the market to the pyramid. No, sir.
I like how you phrase that, melting pot. From
the
market to the pyramid.
From the market to the pyramid. You understand? Size 13, not easy. I remember this, you know. And we are telling Integrity Commission, we need to look into Amber Group of Technology. Here, God, that is another Andrew Wellness project as well. No 2 years about that. Just look on the individual and just go back in an interview where him get, when him come at Jamaica and where him have. And how life was rough. And ask on yourself, which Jamaican expanding wealth from nothing to mega status like a Dushian Chavadi. Here? Okay. Because what is happening in Jamaica, you know, Andrew Wellness basically is milking the whole sector of Jamaica. Using people like Dushian Chavadia. Using people like Big Mama. You understand? And NNN as an entity. Remember, NNN not paying a tax, you know. And if you not dig deep and find the reality and the belly of NNN, you're going to see another Andrew Wellness footprint in that as well. This is why it don't pay tax. Because it's been protected by the government. And this is why we have to look on tax authority. Tax authority won't not do. Tax administrator won't not do. Go and go collect the Jamaican people tax, man. Come on. Who are these people? Why not allow them to operate without paying tax? Why not give them 10 right off? Lot of water under the bridge, my brother. So when me and Sir Byron and Rattigan and Lady and Marie there, and we have set the program in this way how you see we are dealing with it, because we know say the Prime Minister, Ratty asks what kind of brain damage he have. He have a PTSD, post-traumatic syndrome deficiency. You understand? So, come in and call it no disorder, you know. Deficiency, because him not no skill in how him think. And you think you could have get away with all these well without being detected? It couldn't go undetected for so long. There must be a boiling point. Because, remember, you know, I know the same day, leaf go a water bottom, you know. Take a time. So it must be a boiling point. Yeah? So right now, this guy, you know, him need to just be bungled and taken out of Jamaica. As long as Jamaica keep Andrew Wellness anywhere near the political spectrum, Jamaica will never achieve its full potential. Because this guy is a criminal from day one. This guy has never, in his time as a politician, decided to work on behalf of the Jamaican population. He's working merely for himself and his counterpart. And this is why you see him control the country in such a way where he become powerful and mighty, people afraid to challenge him because money wagga and him splash it to deal with corruption. Anything to do with corruption, you know, and just spend money on that, you know. And you pay him blaggers them vast amount of money for tell lie, you know. Vast amount of thousands of them currency So if them live in any country, at a currency, them get paid now. Yeah? So Andrew have pay for protect himself, and people need to understand that with all these amount of corruption that the holiness find themselves in, they have to be paying some money to unscrupulous people to protect them through the means of social media, because them know them come under pressure from the Titans, them come under pressure from a Ratigan. You understand? So them know we are the solid investigator into their corruption. I yield back the floor to you, my brother.
All right, well said, Melting Pot. All right, let us go into the final 3 clip, right, to end the night, where we are going to show some similarities as it relates to certain characteristics trait between the Prime Minister and, of course, Donald Trump. We want to show this video. Now, let us get into it. And you're going to see some similarities, striking similarities, right, where this is concerned. So people, look at this.
That's what you want?
Yes.
Okay. Can't expand, okay.
The president and his family have used the office of the presidency to pocket $1.4 billion plus since he was sworn in. New York Times analysis entitled Trump's Plundering of America indicates that some of that is a result of the president selling corruption here at home, but much of it relates to the president selling out U.S. interests overseas to make a killing for his family, including giving away sensitive U.S. semiconductor and AI technologies to the UAE, while the UAE pumped $2 billion into one of the Trump family ventures. And then there are all the other Trump deals that are intertwined with tariff or foreign policy matters. Golf courses in Saudi Arabia and Vietnam, Trump hotels and office buildings in other countries. And of course, there's the $400 million jet from Qatar. The list goes on and on. By any measure, this is the most corrupt administration in American history. The president and his family.
All right, let us go to the investigation, right, as it relates to Zara Burton investigation, and where we are seeing striking similarities. Now, here it is as it relates to Zara Burton investigation. Prime Minister owns offshore company that held his Beverly Hills properties in Jamaica is dissolved. A deep dive into the possible tax implications then and now. Years after the ownership structure of Prime Minister Andrew Holness Beverly Hills home in Jamaica came under scrutiny for its ability to avoid taxes. The property located at Shenstone Drive now has a new title holder. Its former owner, the St. Lucian offshore entity ADMAT Incorporated, has been dissolved. The international business company was set up in February 2008 while Mr. Holness held office as Minister of Education. And according to a statement in 2016 by him and his then attorney, Patrick Bailey, Mr. Holness was ADMAT's only director, and he and his 10 under 8 sons, Adam and Matthew, were the only shareholders. ADMAT was dissolved in and around December 2021, about 6 months after St. Lucia activated new rules requiring all IBCs have real economic substance in St. Lucia, like having a physical premises and an adequate number of in-country qualified employees in order to maintain active IBC status, which allows for income earned outside of that country to be exempt from taxes within St. Lucia. A company's St. Lucia activities, however, would now be taxed at the local rate of 30%. Previously, IBC were prohibited from doing business with residents of St. Lucia which including buying immovable property, right? The new rules were implemented by St. Lucia so it could be removed from a list of non-cooperative jurisdiction for tax purposes by the European Union, which argued that St. Lucia tax regime was among several in the Caribbean aimed at attracting profits that do not reflect real economic activity in the jurisdiction. They are just shell companies. This is what this is doing. Andrew owners, right, using these shell companies, you understand, to basically laundering money. Now, the criticism was that allowing companies to incorporate with mere PO box addresses was leading to harmful tax competition, which strengthened the corporate tax revenues of EU member St. Lucia. Remaining on the list could have potential dissuaded foreign companies and investors from doing business in that Caribbean nation. One of the reasons why Andrew Wallace also set up ADMAT was also to evade taxes. You understand? A lot of trickery, you understand, as it relates to what Andrew Wallace is doing. It's not clear whether ADMAT had derived any tax benefits before the solution, but ADMAT did not opt to be exempt from income taxes. Its application documents show that means if no changes had been made since inception, St. Lucia would have tax income generated in Jamaica by ADMAT, for example, but depending on the type of income, ADMAT may still have been required to pay taxes in Jamaica. Well, guess what? He did not pay these taxes in Jamaica. Did not. Now, while actively registered in St. Lucia between 2008 and 2011, ADMAT bought the land on which the Shenstone Drive house was eventually built, and at least 2 other Jamaican properties for around 57.1 million Jamaican dollars. Now, Jamaican people, what I want to show you, that under no circumstances in 2008 as it relates to the Prime Minister's salary, the Prime Minister could have been able to buy all of these properties, $57.1 million, where the Prime Minister salary was just partially $5 million. Under no circumstances. This is like 9 times the Prime Minister's salary. This is unbelievable. For all 3 without any listed mortgages. No mortgages. No mortgages. This is brutal. Raising questions about where the money came from. During that time, Mr. Only's salary as Minister of Education was averaging around $5.2 million. There it is, people. 62,000, right? 513 per year, not counting allowances. Look what Prime Minister bought. ADMAT property, Arcadia apartment, September 2008 for $16 million. Purchase price in Jamaican dollars. In US, $219,449. The Wycliffe Close land in Beverly Hills, February 2009. Where the Prime Minister get this money from? Purchase $15 million, $15.2 million, 173,000 US. Shenstone Drive land in Beverly Hills, where house would later be constructed, July 2011, $25.8 million. Right? 300,000 US dollars. The Prime Minister's salary, as I see it, is $5.2 million. Construction costs for Shenstone Drive, Beverly Hills house, as stated by Mr. Owners, 2012 to 2015, $52.6 million. A total of $109.69. Hey, take this away. Let me talk to Brother Ratty. Brother Ratty, this is no joke. This is very serious. This is extremely, as a matter of fact, extremely serious. Ratty. Now, Ratty, the prime minister's salary at $5.2 million, right? And the prime minister buying up all these properties. Okay, all right. So Jamaica, let me say this: it is just egregious. It is unimaginable in terms of we can't fathom this, right? That the prime minister could be able to do all of these things. You understand? I mean, salary at 5.2, right? Going at spending money at the ratio of times 10. How Andrew Wallace do it? How did he do it? Right? So let me just bring in Melting Pot before Brother Rattigan come in and have Brother Rattigan close the show. Melting Pot, when you see these things and these, you understand, so many properties that the Prime Minister could purchase on a salary at 5.2 million Jamaican dollars for the year, per year. And the Prime Minister was able to buy up all of these properties. Impossible. Melting Pot, your take on it.
But I mean, there's no way you can comprehend, a guy's salary to be $5.2 million annually. But him spend so much on real estate property, over 109 million. You understand? You're talking about 20 times different, 21 times difference. You understand? So that would have constituted Andrew would have saved 21 years. What are the 5.2 million to spend 109 million on property? So Andrew is not true in what he declared as asset, in his statutory declaration. He's been lying all along. So where we see all these high level of discrepancies in regards to what the guy have laid out in output investment, and then do the maths because money come from a source.
But Melting Pot, is this possible that some of these money come from drugs as well?
Definitely, because this is where I'm going now. Money come from a source. What source we know Andrew owns is to have to generate cash in his pocket? It's from being a prime minister. So if we do the calculation of 5.2 million annual salary, and we look at where outlay 109 million, we are looking at 21 years with a salary, and then you have also subtract living, outflow as well. So it now add up. The only thing we are looking for now are the drugs. Because remember, Byron, the guy involved, in the cabinet of Bruce Golding. Bruce Golding administration was flagged, by the Cubans in relation to high-level drugs activity using the coastline of Jamaica. Cubans have seen how many vessels with the substance heading our way. So Andrew Wallace have to get a piece of the stake. This is how them have so much money. This is why no other prime minister can ever, put themselves equal amongst Andrew Wallace where wealth is concerned by just being the prime minister of Jamaica. The previous prime minister that we know about that we can vouch for, Daddy Manley, B.J. Patterson, and a Portia Simpson. They will never, come close to this type of wealth. And if you notice, the labor right them say Manley dead poor. That's the reason why them come out with it, because them are sure say Manley run the country like him our Jesus Christ. While Andrew, Seaga, and Bruce Golding run the country like them are the devil, and this is what the people them like, because them get a lot of kickback from the government, giving them money willy-nilly. You understand? Giving them contract. People are benefit, who not supposed to benefit. Just look on that report, corruption report. from 2010, we had tell us that Jamaica lose over 6,144,200,000,000 to corruption. All of these were done throughout the time when the Jamaica Labour Party administration, you even see people name, councillor from over Portmore awarding our daughter, $8 million worth of contract, something of that sort. She never qualified. You understand? So I just saw the thing are going at Jamaica. Why you think these people just glad to know say Andrew Wallace did it? Because them a benefit, the big boys them a benefit. Because once Andrew is there, it represents CIA. Remember our private sector, they trod along the pathway of CIA. So this is the core value of keeping Andrew Wallace. This is why them don't come out and speak about what is happening in Jamaica as it relates to drugs and all these things now, and Jamaica now being downsized and put on the blacklist of country. Where we see products, over 20 different products being taken off the shelf. But who does that benefit? It don't benefit the common Jamaican people in America, They are now being starved of what they used to eat, what they consume. Yeah? So what you're looking at is just the big boys and the government and benefiting. Remember, people now, visa freeze. You can't imagine you have relatives abroad and, them have it within their scope to invite you over, give you a flight for the first time. And it was next year, them I think, tell you, say them I'll bring you coming to America. And can't happen again. Can't happen again, Based on where Andrew Wallace are going with. Now, when you look into a certain discussion where me and you have mistake, we have to ask ourselves, as Jamaican, how much of our sovereignty does we still retain?
Exactly.
Here it is, American realize that Trump has sell out for them sovereignty to Dubai, the EUA, United Emirates, he must sell it out. So a lot of things, and them I tell you, say, must sell it to him personal, family wealth. Ma leave a legacy. Andrew do the same thing. Andrew two son, them not have to live a pin. And how did them amass them wealth on the back of poor people vote? And when poor people get bury your kids regularly, I yield back the floor.
All right. So my Jamaican people, apparently Ratigan, right, still, but interesting as it relates to the amount of properties that, okay, let me just have Brother Ratti close out for us. Brother Ratti, based on the documentation, and we know the Prime Minister's salary as it relates to Prime Minister getting $5.2 million, but yet the Prime Minister was able to purchase, right, several properties, right, to the tune of more than $57 million. I mean, when you think of that, how could the Prime Minister attain that? Right?
Yeah, that's another $1 million question. And that's a question that's been swirling around this investigation regarding statutory declaration is like, where did he get this money from?
Yes.
And to date, we have not received a responsible and based on what we've seen, an accurate answer. We haven't received that. And we're still asking him to just come forward, provide the information and just get this behind us, because how much longer can we go on as a country with a prime minister whose statutory declaration cannot be certified, has not been certified, will not be certified based on the circumstances, considering that this is the man who gave us, he openly said that, hey, I'm the one who shepherded this thing through Parliament. It started a while back, but truth be told, it ended up on his watch. So in 2017, Parliament passed it, and it took effect 2018. Be that as it may, a super a super corruption investigative agency was created where they consolidated 3 previous entities that were looking into essentially the same thing. So they said, "Wait, look, let's just compress everything and just have one agency in charge, and that way it can be done efficiently and effectively." And he's claiming responsibility for this. And at the same time, he's taking them to court, ladies and gentlemen. It's not even like he's saying, I disagree with them. He's taking them to, they're in court right now. So I don't know how much more of this Jamaica can take, you know. You go back and now they're saying, if you go back and you read the report, they're saying, well, look, we've had problems. In fact, in Craig Beresford's affidavit, it clearly stated that they've had problems with his statutory declarations from the moment he entered Parliament. That's what they said. This isn't my language. This is stated in the report, saying that they've had problems with it going all the way back. So something has to be done. You know, I don't know why the court is taking so long to resolve this matter, because it's before them and it's been before them for a while. But the longer we have this thing going on, the more forceful the Prime Minister thinks he is, because it's like until you stop him, you haven't stopped him. Yeah. Until you stop him, you haven't stopped him, and that's his mindset. So he's not gonna sit back and curl up in a corner and say, "Oh, yeah, them have me." And no, he's gonna come out and he's gonna pretend like, no, put his best face on, put his best foot forward, and he's gonna continue. And there are some people, they see that and they don't even bother looking at the facts, because they say, "See my Prime Minister, yeah, him tough and him rough and him not afraid and not bad there." And
yeah. we just all right. Ratty, I want to reason with you on something as it relates to the current investigation that FID, right, is now conducting as it relates as in relation to the Prime Minister's assets, income, and liabilities. Now, to me, Ratty, if the Prime Minister is the Prime Minister, and an entity like FID would want to ensure that whatever obstacles holding over the Prime Minister head should be dealt with, you understand, so that we can put the Prime Minister in a bright light, so the Prime Minister can take that dark cloud from over his head. However, based on the prolonged period that FID is taking, that dark cloud still centers over the Prime Minister head. And I'm saying, during then and now, and as it relates to the span of time, if there was anything there, Brother Ratty, that would have vindicated the Prime Minister from what they are investigating, don't you think that FID would have definitely come out to say, okay, all right, listen, there is nothing here, right? And to put the Prime Minister in the clear. Now, we are going to approach what is going to happen, Brother Ratty. We are going to approach another financial year beginning in April. And the statutory declaration, the certification of the statutory declaration of both the Prime Minister and the opposition will have to now make mention again. And they are going down now to the wire. Isn't that if the FID don't come out and put Andrew Holness in the clear, we are going to see a next year ending where the Prime Minister cannot be certified? What is it that FID doesn't want to tell the public? What is it that they are looking on that they can't come out and have the Prime Minister vindicated?
Well, it is my opinion that its statutory declaration for 2025 will not be certified. And here's why. The chief technical director of FID, Dennis Strong, he came out. I remember what he said. He said that They've
Yes.
kept me away from the briefings and all of that stuff. He said, I believe I signed a document one time, but that's it. They said they want to keep me away from it. So the question I have to ask is, what, if anything, has FID done? And here's why I asked the question. If you recall, the issue in court is whether or not the referral should have been made from the Integrity Commission to FID. So we don't know what FID is doing. Maybe FID is not doing anything, because that is the central issue. So somebody could reasonably say, you know what, let's not do anything. Let's put a pause on everything until we hear from the court. Because you don't want to go ahead and do all of this work and then the court come and say, no, it should have never been referred to you. So it's possible that nothing has been done. It's also possible that some things have been done, but here's the thing: that court case is causing a chilling effect on moving forward with the investigation, or at least telling the public what's been done with the investigation, because the issue is whether or not, under the law, it should have been referred. So, I could see where somebody could say, well, you know what, let's not do anything, because the whole issue about whether we should have gotten it or not, it could come back to bite us if we continue working on this thing. So what we need to do is just put a pause on it. Don't brief anybody, don't say anything, and just wait for the court to come. Because remember, no, there's no statute of limitations on this, but there's something called abuse of process, which is a defense I think they're lining this thing up for, to say so much time has passed, and it's an injustice to have the man just waving in the wind, blowing in the wind, waiting for this thing to be resolved. So and there's no firm date on when they're going to have a hearing. If you recall, there is no firm date on the next hearing as far as determining whether or not the referral should have been made from the Integrity Commission to FID. So that's what I think is happening. I don't think they're doing anything. Oh, and before we move on, did you see what happened this week in the Senate, or last week in the Senate, where they amended the FID Act, and they said we're going to amend it so that we take away ministerial oversight over what they're doing. But then they slipped in the thing about government policy, saying that it will be, the sharing of information will be done consistent with the Constitution and government policy. Well, it's the same thing. Government policy, who deals with government policy? It's the minister and the cabinet. So what they did, they just took out minister and then they insert government policy. And who's in charge of government policy? It's the cabinet and the ministers. So
exactly.
There you go.
So they don't want that independent checks and balance.
Absolutely correct. They don't want it.
No, they don't want it. So my Jamaican people, right, there you go, there you have it, as it relates to, we come to the end of another wonderful program, right? Remember to tune in. Ratty, do you have your show tomorrow?
Yeah, we have the show tomorrow.
Talk to them about the
thing. But yeah, tomorrow we have a whole bunch of things going on. But the Saturday show, this Saturday, we hope to have on the executives from Company 2, from the Auditor General's report. The company, they claim that the Auditor General's report showed that dialysis machines came in, and they came in tax exempt under UI's umbrella, but then they ended up somewhere else, and who owns them and all that stuff. It's a fascinating story. So they're supposed to show up on Saturday. But here's the thing: all of you Mystic fans and Melting Pot fans, you must, if you don't watch Ratigan show any other time, this Saturday you must watch it, because
I
got a phone call, and we have a big announcement to make this Saturday. So have to tune in and listen to it.
Be a tune in. Or yourself, Rati.
And by the way, you can tune in tomorrow as well.
All right.
Tomorrow.
So there you go. You have it, people. Another wonderful show. Want to say, Melting Pot, big up yourself. You understand? Brother Ratty. Right? Big up yourself. My Jamaican people want to say, walk good. Right? Blessings. Love you all. And we are here fighting. And we are not going to stop fight. Checks and balance and good governance. You understand? Bless up, Brother Ratty. Bless up, Melting Pot. People, walk good. I am out. Blessings.
Wait, where wife there? Where Lady Anne Marie there?
I was just going to say safe travel on the gravel.
That's what that Pratt want here, you know. Love the travel on the gravel. I tell you. What you mean?
This one complete till we hear that.
All right.
All right, sir. Bless.
All right. Blessings.
So why you come to me with that foolishness, you know? You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right kind of stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.